Hello, it is I once more, Jordan, aka Defcos, One Piece fanboy personified. I am here today to talk about One Piece Volume 13. I think I found a way to make my videos a little better quality. Forgive me, I have no idea how to make videos or like edit videos or make them optimal or anything like that. I'm quite a scrub when it comes to stuff like that. So if my videos up until this point have been really shitty quality, I apologize. I think I may have found a way to make it higher quality, like 720p or 1080p or something like that. I think I'm gonna try 720p just because my computer is not the best, and I don't want to for it to take forever to save or export or whatever. Um, so I think I'm gonna try 720p. Hopefully that'll improve the quality a little bit, and yeah, we can make better looking videos from now on. Um, so we're gonna talk about One Piece Volume 13. Before, I just wanted to mention I read the Viz translation for Chapter 1044 this morning. Um, yeah, I mean, same. It wasn't that different from the fan translations. There was some differences in wording and stuff like that, but for the most part, it was the same thing, and that's usually the case. Um, so I guess I don't really need to add anything. I was watching Rogers Base this morning, and he did bring up a point that why didn't the Gorosei just initiate a Buster Call on Luffy as soon as they knew he had the Gum Gum fruit? I don't have a good answer for that. I mean, I guess Oda didn't think about it at that point. Um, yeah, I feel like Oda comes up with ideas as he makes the stories, so there are definitely some issues with continuity and stuff like that. But what you gonna do? I mean, it's a 25-year long story. Like there are gonna be issues with continuity and stuff like that. You can't really do anything about that. But anyway, yeah. So let's get into One Piece Volume 13. I just read it just now, or reread it, I should say. Um, so we are in the middle of the Baroque Work saga. I'll go ahead and read the forward as always. This one is really short. It just says so. So actually, there's a picture of Oda and some friends of his. I'll try to put that really close to the camera. Um, so I think that's pretty interesting. But anyway, it says a dragon lives in Inoshima. The living being closest to the gods, that is the dragon. I wonder if you can eat dragons. Ichiro Oda 2000. All right, so let's do this. Oh yeah, so we pick up where we left off with Zoro fighting all the bounty hunters of Cactus Island. We get the first introduction of Karu, Vivi's trusty steed, the duck Karu. I think steeds can be anything that you ride on. I don't think they're necessarily horses. Um, so that's Karu right there. Karu is another one of those animal characters that you just love. All right, so Zoro fights Mr. Nine. Oh yeah, I thought this was a cool moment. How Vivi hypnotizes him with her outfit. I always thought that was pretty cool. It doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so Zoro just takes them all on, and this is such an awesome sequence. How Zoro fights them and just owns all of them. I thought this was kind of cool, how Igarappoi, or Igaram, as we find out his name is in this volume, he has the guns in his hair. I thought that was pretty cool. I put a post-it note there to talk about that briefly. Oh yeah, I put a post-it note here just because I love this sequence. Like right after, I say the word sequence a lot. I don't mean to, but I guess I'm looking at sequential art, so it makes sense. Um, so yeah, so this is I love these 2 pages here. How Igaram fires the guns from his hair, and right before Mr. Nine had thrown a rope at Zorro and it wrapped around his arm, and he uses that rope to like throw Mr. Nine in front of the fire of the gun. I really thought that was awesome. Like this panel right here in particular is pretty dope. Oh yeah, and then he bounces off of Luffy and slashes Igaram. That's a cool sequence there too. Then that's it. That's it. He takes them all out. The Unluckies. I love the Unluckies. Oh yeah, so we get Mr. Five and Miss Valentine who show up. They're pretty awesome characters. It's funny when they show up. When they first show up, they seem like they're pretty strong, like they're pretty powerful characters. But then Luffy and Zoro like own them really, really quickly. Later on in the book, I'll get to that moment soon. But when they first show up, you get the impression that they're pretty strong. It actually turns out they're really not that strong. Um, but I was looking at Mr. Five, and I kind of hope that in the live action they cast like a black guy or a Hispanic guy. I hope they cast somebody who's kind of ethnic looking because he looks kind of ethnic. Um, so yeah, they probably will. It seems like they're doing a good job casting like a diverse cast. So that's kind of the whole point of One Piece. Like it's a diverse universe. Um, so yeah, so I think that's what they're gonna do with Mr. Five. I'm guessing Mr. Five and Miss Valentine. I'm guessing like Volume 13 is probably gonna be like Season 2. I'm thinking because I think Season 1 is gonna end when they get to the Grand Line. So yeah, so this is probably gonna be Season 2 of the live action. I'm guessing. I really have no idea, but I'm guessing. Um, okay, so we get the revelation that Igaram and Vivi are actually, they infiltrated Baroque Works, and they're actually from Alabasta. So we get that reveal. Oh yeah, this is interesting. Miss Valentine breaks Vivi's the hairband that she has that like puts her hair in a ponytail right here, and then her hair like comes down. And I remember I was talking about it a little bit in the last video, but I think Oda was talking about actually when Vivi had her hair down. That's when he was like, "Oh wow, she looks kind of princess like." Um, so it's interesting that he chose to like have her hairband break off so that her hair can fall down. So then Mr. Five does his booger attack, which is pretty classic. And yeah, this is when you get the impression that he's really strong. Like he just boom, like fires the booger. And it's funny they call it the napalm. Ne means nose in French, so it's like they call it the napalm cannon. I feel like Oda really likes the French language. Um, but yeah, so Nami comes back, says that yeah, we'll save Vivi, but only for a billion berries. Yeah, and she like blackmails Zoro to get him to help like save Vivi. Oh yeah, I thought this was a cool panel. I think this is why I put a post-it note here. When Mr. Five just clotheslines Miss Monday with his exploding powers, and she just blows up with the clothesline. He does the napalm can again, and Zoro slices it in half. Oh yeah, she calls him Mr. Bushido. I always thought that was kind of cool. I remember the anime. It's like Mr. Bushido. Um, but I thought that was a cool nickname for Zoro. That Vivi calls him Mr. Bushido. I think that's cool. She just calls him that out of nowhere too. I guess it makes sense because he's kind of like a samurai type dude. Um, but uh, but yeah, but she doesn't really. I guess just she only calls him that based on the fact that he fights with swords. Um, I guess Bushido, yeah, is definitely a thing in the One Piece universe. Oh yeah, so here we get the beginning of the fight with Luffy versus Zoro. Luffy gets mad at Zoro for fighting all the bounty hunters because he thinks they're just nice townspeople, and because they welcomed them all, they partied with them, they fed them, uh, and then Zoro just like slaughters them all. And when Luffy wakes up, he's like, "What the fuck? Like, why did Zoro just slaughter everybody?" But I mean, I think that was just kind of like that was just Oda being like, "I want to draw Luffy fighting Zoro," and so he came up with like I don't know, the best reason he could to give them like somewhat of a reason to fight. Because to be honest, it's not the best reason for them to fight. Like I feel like Luffy versus Usopp was like a great reason for them to fight. Like to decide who would take the Mary. Usopp really didn't want to lose the Mary. It was a huge like altercation, and it was a huge like argument um, amongst the Straw Hats, and it made sense. It was like, and Usopp kind of has like a big spot in his heart for the Mary because it was that's when they got the Mary from his village, from Mary and from Kaya, and so it makes sense that Usopp really cares about the Mary. Um, and so yeah, so it made sense that they would fight. Like that was like a good reason for a fight. That made a lot of sense. And but this one not doesn't make as much sense. I mean, it's an awesome fight, and I'm glad that it happened because you know, it's awesome to see two of the main characters go at it like that. And the whole sequence is really well drawn and really enjoyable. But the reason, not that strong a reason for them to fight, in my opinion. And then, especially like afterwards, wow, Luffy is just like, oh yeah, why didn't you say so? Why didn't you just say that they were all bad guys? And it's like, come on, Luffy, like really, like. I mean, I get that Luffy is kind of dense and he's kind of slow and like gullible and naive and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess his emotions got the better of him, but I don't know. I feel like it wasn't an amazing reason for them to fight. Um, let's see here. Yeah, so this is the whole Luffy versus Zoro fight, and during while Luffy and Zoro are fighting each other, they take out Mister Five and Miss Valentine. Like that's how much stronger they are than them. And this is a pretty classic moment right here. This double page spread. The way Luffy and Zoro just take out Miss Valentine and Mr. Five. Um, that's classic. That's classic right there. Well, yeah, here we get a little explanation about the ranking in the SBS. We get an explanation about the ranking of the swords. So this is kind of interesting. They talk about the Owazamono grade swords and stuff like that, the Wadoichi Monji. So that's kind of interesting. Sometimes Oda gets serious during the SBS. He talks about like actual serious like plot points and stuff like that. Most of the time he's just joking around and like, not saying serious stuff, but that was pretty good. Oh yeah, so Nami just stops the fight between Zoro and Luffy. And then it was just like, oh my bad, sorry about that. It's like, wow, really? It didn't take a lot to get you to like want to kill Zoro. You think he would have wanted to like reason with him before like trying to kill him, but I guess that wouldn't be. I guess Luffy wouldn't really not the type of person to like have intellectual conversations. Oh yeah, this was kind of dumb too. The way Vivi is like, oh, I can't tell you who the boss of Baroque Works is, and then she just says, oh yeah, it's Crocodile, some Warlord of the Sea, yeah. Like right after she tells them, I can't tell you, and then she's like, whoops, didn't mean to say that. And then the Unluckies, the Unluckies see them. I love the Unluckies; they're dope characters. Oh yeah, I thought this was hilarious. How Nami's like, okay, well, I'm fucking out of here. You just told us that the boss is Crocodile. They're gonna come after us now, so I'm leaving. And then the Otter, Mister 13, is just like sketching them all, like sketching them so that they know what they look like. That's so great. I love that. Oh yeah, so Igaram dresses up as Vivi to try to like distract the Baroque Works agents, and he gives them the eternal pose. But then he gets caught like immediately afterwards. I guess it's by we'll talk about it in a second. Oh yeah, yeah. I put a post-it note here because uh, so Usopp gets the new and improved goggles, the goggles that look like I remember like back in the day during the Olympics, some of the like track runners would wear these goggles that like slide down and go in front of your eye. They're like the ones Usopp has. He used to wear the regular goggles that just go across your face horizontally, but then he gets the ones that like slide down like that. And those are dope looking goggles. But I remember while I was rereading this, I was like, oh wow, when did Usopp actually get those? Like, you don't really see him get them. He just has them once. Like, 1 second he doesn't have them, and then they go to Logtown, and then he has them. And I guess he got them in Logtown, but there was no scene that showed him getting them. And it turns out there was, but it got cut. It got cut because of page constraints. Um, so yeah, so we get to see that page right here, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, I guess he's gonna have those goggles in the live action. That's gonna be tight. That's gonna be cool to see him with those goggles. Okay, so they're getting ready to leave, and then we get. And I had actually forgotten that she shows up that early, but right here, the first appearance of Nico Robin, aka Miss All Sunday, and I had completely forgotten that she shows up in this volume. Like I remembered that she was part of the Alabasta arc, and that she was a member of Baroque Works and all that. Like I remembered all that, but for some reason I forgot that she shows up in volume 13. Like that is pretty early on. I guess she doesn't join till like volume 25 or 26. I know the box set that I have. It ends after the it's the first box set and it ends after the Alabasta arc, and I think it goes up to volume 25. So um, I guess she joins in volume 25, or maybe like 26 at the latest. Um, But yeah, but I didn't realize that she actually shows up for the first time in volume 13. And at this point, you think she's like, well, it's a little ambiguous. She does kind of, you can kind of see that she has ulterior motives. She might not be 100% like a bad guy, but they do say, like, at this point, it's kind of established that Baroque works are the bad guys. And she's like they say, oh, she's Mr. Zero's partner. So it's kind of assumed that she's a bad guy. That's like the first full shot of Nico Robin. Uh, and yeah, I'd forgotten, but yeah, yeah. I remember when she first showed up, thinking, oh wow, like yeah, she's a bad guy or whatever. When I read it a long time ago. And then we get a hint at her devil fruit powers, but it seems like she just has like psychic abilities or like telekinetic abilities. Like that's what it seems like, based on what happens here. Like she just throws Sanji and Usopp off the balcony there, and then she takes she takes Luffy's hat, but it just like lifts off his head and just like floats towards Nico Robin. It's like, well, what did she do? What did she do exactly? Because we don't see the hands or like we don't see the Cien Fleur or anything like that. It just like telekinetically floats off his head and goes to Nico Robin. So it's like, oh, what did she do there? Yeah, and I remember thinking, even way back in the day, like when her power was revealed to be the Hana Hana no Mi, I was just being like, oh, is that what it was? Like, oh shit! Like I did not realize that that's what her power was gonna be, that kind of happens in One Piece. Like a character will show up, like it was the same thing with Doflamingo. Like I remember Doflamingo's powers were like a mystery for the longest time. Like clearly he had some kind of crazy ability, but we didn't know exactly what it was. And then it turned out to be the Ito Ito no Mi, the string fruit. And it was like, oh shit, that's what it was. Damn, like I thought he was just like telekinetic, and that's kind of like the same thing here. It's kind of similar with Nico Robin. Oh yeah, and then she goes away on the giant turtle, Bunchi. Whatever happened to Bunchi? That's what I want to know. Maybe something happened to him. I have a lot of more volumes to read. Um. Oh yeah. So then they head to Little Garden. Um. Yeah. So they get to Little Garden and they see the giant tiger. Oh yeah, and then Zoro and Sanji challenge each other to a hunt to get some food. I'm so hyped for the live action. I really hope they do a good job. I'm so worried because like if it sucks, I'm gonna be so mad. I mean, Cowboy Bebop, like I wouldn't go as far as to say that it sucked, but it definitely wasn't all that at all, especially compared to like the original anime. Like the original anime of Cowboy Bebop is one of the greatest anime ever made, and it's so fucking awesome. And then the live action was like not any doesn't hold a candle to the anime. And like I'm scared that's going to be the same thing with One Piece. And honestly, like it might be, but I really hope that they do a good job and that they make it epic as fuck. It's gonna be hard. It's definitely not gonna be easy to make it good. Um, but I hope they make it. I hope they do a good job. I'm so hopeful for it. But yeah, so we get the first introduction of Bragi, and yeah, they've been foreshadowing Elbaf for a long time. I mean, I know I've been saying that. that I'm not sure if Elbaf is gonna be the next arc, but maybe it will be. I mean, they've been talking about Elbaf for a long time, or at least they've been hinting at it for a long time. We've been seeing giants for a long time. It would make a lot of sense if we did go to Elbaf. I mean, I guess we did go to Elbaf in the Big Mom flashback when she was a little girl. Um, but I don't know. It would make sense if the Straw Hats went to Elbaf, especially in this volume. There's a part where Usopp talks about how he wants to go to Elbaf. Um, and I guess if it's not the next arc, then when is it gonna be? So I guess that's why everybody is saying that it's gonna be the next arc, because I guess if it's not, like, if it's not the next arc, then it's not happening. I guess. Oh yeah, we get the first introduction of Dory. And Dory and Groggy have really dope designs. Like, they just look sick as fuck. Oh yeah, and then he tells them that the log post takes a year to reset when they're on Little Garden. That's pretty funny. I guess they don't even really use the log post anymore, do they? I don't think they really do. Maybe they do, and I'm just forgetting. But I feel like log pose and eternal pose, they don't really use those that much anymore. I feel like. Maybe they do. I can't really remember. Well, I feel like Nami does have it on her wrist. I can't remember. This is an awesome panel right here. Double page spread. Dory and Bragi going at it. They don't even know why they're fighting. They're just fighting. And that's when Usopp sees them and he's just like, oh shit, like I want to be like these guys. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite character reveals in all of One Piece. Mr. Three. How he's talking to Miss Golden Week, and Miss Golden Week is calling him Mr. Three, and Mr. Three's like, hey, don't call me Mr. Three in public. People are gonna know who I am. And then it cuts to his face, and he has the giant three on his fucking head. I love that. That's great. um. Oh yeah. So Usopp talks about how he wants to go to Elbaf. Oh yeah, something that kind of perplexed me a little bit in this volume. They spell Elbaf with a PH at the end. Um, and I always my understanding was that Elbaf was the word fable backwards. Um, so I don't know why they spell it with a PH in this. It was always with an F. From what I remember, and that makes more sense because it's the word fable backwards. So why would they spell it with a PH like Defcos? Let's see here. Okay, so they end in a draw again. Yeah, and Usopp talks about how he wants to go to Elbaf. Yeah, I mean, I guess they gotta go to Elbaf at some point. I mean, that's what they're talking about here. I guess they're going to Elbaf. If they go to Elbaf, it probably won't be a long arc. It'll probably be like Zoe or something like that when it's like not that long of an arc. I can only imagine. Oh yeah, so then the ale explodes. Dory goes to drink the beer or whatever, and it just explodes in his mouth, which again is kind of weird. Like how does ale explode? Or maybe I guess maybe there was a bomb like in the liquid, and he just like drank the bomb. I guess that's what happened. Oh yeah, and then he thinks that Luffy and Vivi put the bomb in the ale, and then Luffy gets ready to fight Dory. And that is the end of volume 13. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, I did a video yesterday, and I did another one today. So I think I might do that because every other Saturday I get out early from work. I get out at 2. So I have like, half of the day or whatever to just do whatever I want. So that's why I did a video yesterday, and I did the same thing 2 weeks ago too. Um, so I think I'm gonna do that. Like every other Saturday, I'm gonna do a video, and then I'll do another one on Sunday. Um, Even though honestly, these videos are literally just like diaries for me, like video diaries for myself, because I'm the only one who watches them. Like I get a couple of views here and there. My chapter reaction got like 50 views or something like that, so that was nice. But and I got another subscriber too, so that was nice. And I hope he's watching. Jackson Star, what up? Uh, so yeah, yeah, that's it. I guess that's gonna be it for this video. I'll make another one on Wednesday, my next day off. I'll do volume 14. I'm gonna have to buy the next box set. And then, well, I guess I still have some time. I still have like 10 more volumes to go. Even more than that, like 11 more volumes to go before I need to buy the next box set so I can continue making these videos. So I'll do that. I'll do that. And I want to own all the volumes anyway, so this is a good way to do that. Um, so yeah, if you indeed watched me talk about One Piece for more than a half an hour, thank you very much. Although you probably did not, but in case you did, thank you so very much. Feel free to leave a comment, and I will go ahead and see you in the very near future. Have a good one.